YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another video for you guys. Guess what? Tia Mowry is still in the news, y'all, and I'm still addressing Tia because I find the events that are taking place surrounding Tia are very interesting and very telling. And I think people should really use this to study and pay attention to what's happening and how a lot of women move in this way and how it directly affects them in a negative way, in my opinion. So this has been all over social media. I actually saw this when it was posted. I saw this around Thanksgiving time. I realized that Tia seemingly wasn't invited to Thanksgiving dinner with her family, or she just chose to take a different route or go somewhere else. Listen, in my opinion, ever since Tia Mowry went on her graduation and her celebration, her divorce tour, and also did this show showcasing the fall of her marriage, I don't think she's been quite the same. And I think the events surrounding all of this have really put her in an emotional state. If you watch any of her show, the entire show, she was very emotional. She was crying all the time. She was always trying to figure things out. She looked very confused about her choices and if she made the right choice, and if she's going about this the right way. So she seems very skeptical and kind of regretful of making the choice of her graduation and her celebration, which seems to me that she's not really sure if that's the right choice she made. But she's gonna forge ahead. She's gonna continue to do and live her life the way she deems it fit, and just, I guess, have to deal with the errors of her ways or the choices that she made. So all of this seems to be kind of spilling over into her family dynamics with her family, because we noticed that for Thanksgiving she was not with the majority of her family, that she either chose to go spend time with her brother and his family and not with her mother and her father and her sister and her other brother, because they all shared the holiday together, but she chose to do something differently, which tells me that there is some animosity brewing within the family. And that is unfortunate, because I think family is everything. Family is the most important. And I think that, this is not a good thing for this to be happening, but it says a lot about Tia and the choices she make and how people move around her. Now, this all started, when she mentioned in her show that her and her sister were no longer close. So people start wondering, girl, what happened? Why aren't y'all close? Why haven't you talked to her? Why are y'all not communicating? To me, this stems from a long line of events that occurred when they had their first show together. Well, not the Tia and Tamara show, but the other reality show that they had that I watched religiously, where, her sister Tamara claimed that Tia was selfish. She talked about how Tia only cares about herself. She only thinks about herself and nobody else. And she was annoyed with it. She's cried about it. She's talked to her about it. They've had several conversations in their reality show where Tamara talked about how Tia would go off and do jobs on her own, where they agreed that they would do them together. There was things she didn't tell Tamara about, and Tamara expressed her concerns about all of that. And in a sense, Tia didn't seem to really have a whole lot of emotions toward it. You understand what I'm saying? But they talked about communicating and how their communications needed to get better and things of that nature. But Tamara have definitely spoke about Tia being selfish and, basically her being fed up with it. So now fast forward to this whole family drama. It does seem like Tamara is kind of moving on in a sense and not really buying too much into Tia's antics. Like, she seems to be the more sensitive sister and the one who's more cooperative. And from what I gather, it seems like Tamara is tired of it and she's not doing that anymore. She's taking a stand and she said, no, I'm not going to go for whatever you want me to go for. That's just what I gather from it. And that's just from seeing things publicly. We don't really know what's going on behind closed doors with these people. We don't know their everyday lives. So we're just speculating off the stuff that we see. And based off what I've seen watching their all their shows really, that's what I get from it. And you know, just like when Tamara said, hey, she don't know nothing, she didn't know anything about Tia's recent show. Tia didn't tell her she was doing the show. She didn't tell her what it was about. She didn't tell her anything about it. So she didn't want her to know about it. So that's how she took it. So I think, you know, if you're getting that type of vibe, even if it's family, you gotta sometimes separate yourself and keep it moving. You can't try to push or force somebody to be a part of your life or be around you just because they may not agree with you. But I don't know. I just think this is why you have to be careful of the decisions that you make, because it's not only going to affect you, it's going to affect your family overall. You know, we don't know everything that's happened or occurred in their lives, but it's definitely spilling over to family. And hopefully they can make it right. Hopefully they can get it together. Hopefully it doesn't last too long, because once again, family is important. And I think sometimes people forget that when you're on this journey and this idea of self-reflection and all about self and all about you forget about everyone else around you, including your children, how these things are going to affect your kids, how it's going to affect the dynamics of your entire family, how it's going to affect you in the long run. Because listen, the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's really not. And when you've built a family, when you actually have that, I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think sometimes people take it for granted, thinking about only themselves. And there are people out here who don't have a husband, don't have children, don't have extended family, don't have any of this, and would kill to have a family dynamic like Tia and Tamara's. They would love to have a family that they can share the holidays with and just have that love and support. And the people that have it sometimes take it for granted, and you don't realize how important it is until it's gone. You know, we don't live here forever. We only here for a certain amount of time and then we out. So, you know, I just say all this to say, I think before you make irrational decisions, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you have counted up the costs. Make sure you understand how this is going to affect the people around you, your family, your kids. What is this going to look like? And I understand wanting your own happiness, but sometimes you wanting your own happiness takes away so much from others, so you end up not being really happy after all. Once again, I hope that they can work this out. I hope that they can mend whatever is going on in their lives, because, you know, as family go through things. That's just a part of it. That's why I say, like with marriages, you go through stuff, but you're supposed to work through them. You don't just walk away when the going gets tough. People have emotions and feelings, and, you know, feel certain ways, but it doesn't mean that you just up and say, all right, I'm done. I'm not feeling good today, so I'm just gonna bust up out of here and I'm gonna leave, and then we could just figure it out. No, you work through those situations. That's life. That's life. No matter what relationships you create with family, friends, whoever, if that's truly a relationship that you care about, you're supposed to work on it. You don't just walk away just because it doesn't feel good. Because you're going to have a lot of situations or instances that don't feel good, but you're supposed to try to work through it. So once again, you know, hopefully she can find herself, and maybe that journey can end, and she knows who she is, and maybe she can get back to what's important, and that's family. Because no amount of money, no amount of TV show, no amount of any of that can take the place of your loved ones. Because at the end of the day, when you don't have love and you don't have support, you have nothing. The fame and the money and all that is worthless if you have nobody to share it with, and if you're all alone trying to be happy by yourself, and just to find out that loneliness is not the key to your happiness. It's a shame to find out that way. And a lot of people find out the hard way, and then when they do find out, it's too late. So listen, I want to know y'all thoughts on this. Y'all chime in the comments below, child. I definitely want to hear what you think about this whole Tia situation and her family. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Chime in the comments, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.